Have you ever felt like you're working harder than everyone around you, but somehow you're still falling behind? You wake up earlier, you stay longer, you push harder, and yet, nothing changes. Meanwhile, someone else working half as much moves ahead of you, gets promoted, gets recognized. If that's you, then this story might change the way you see effort forever. Because this is the story of a man who almost destroyed his life by working too hard. In a quiet farming valley, there was a farmer named Thomas. He was only 32, but he already looked tired of life. Not because he was weak, but because he believed something dangerous. Hard work is always enough. Every morning at 4 a.m. Before the sun even touched the sky, Thomas was already working. No machines, no shortcuts. He planted every seed manually, carried water bucket by bucket. His hands bled. His back burned, but Thomas wore that pain like pride. Success requires sacrifice, he would say. At night, he collapsed into bed, too tired to eat, too tired to talk, too tired to live. His wife, Sarah, would watch him silently. "Thomas," she said one night, "you're killing yourself." Right next to his land was another farmer. Same age, same size farm, but completely different life. His name was Richard. Richard worked 6 hours a day. He used tools, systems, simple strategies, evenings. He spent them laughing with his family. And yet, his farm produced twice the results. That truth haunted Thomas every single night. Then, one summer, a drought hit the valley. Water became scarce. Crops began to die. Thomas responded the only way he knew how he worked harder. 3 a.m. wake-ups, 50 trips to the well. His body started breaking. But his belief didn't. Hard work never fails, he repeated. Until one day, it did! His vision blurred. His legs collapsed. The bucket slipped from his hands, water spilling into the dust. That night, in a hospital bed, a doctor said, "If you continue like this, you won't die from failure. You'll die from effort." That sentence shattered him. For the first time in his life, Thomas questioned everything. 3 days later, he did something his pride had never allowed. He knocked on Richard's door. "Teach me," he said. Richard walked him to his shed and handed him an axe. One was dull and worn down. The other was sharp and powerful. Thomas used the dull axe. Swing after swing. Nothing. Just exhaustion. Then Richard stepped forward. One swing, deep cut. 3 more. The log split in half. Richard said, "You're not failing because you don't work hard. You're failing because you never stop to sharpen your axe." Richard showed him 3 truths. First, systems beat effort. Stop carrying water. Build a pipeline. Second, focus beats hustle. Master 2 things instead of struggling with 5. Third, rest is part of the strategy. A tired mind cannot build a better life. Thomas went home. And for the first time in years, he didn't rush to work. He sat down and he thought. Within weeks, everything changed. He installed irrigation, reduced his crops, started planning instead of reacting. 6 months later, his farm produced 40% more than ever before. Not because he worked harder, but because he finally worked smarter. But here's the real transformation. It wasn't just his farm, it was his life. He had dinner with his wife. He laughed again. And one evening, as he stood in his field, he whispered to himself, "I wasted years proving I could suffer, instead of learning how to win." So if you feel stuck right now, ask yourself this: are you really progressing or just exhausting yourself? Because hard work matters. But without strategy, it's just slow destruction. So this week, don't just work harder. Take one step back. Sharpen your axe. Build a system. Think. If this hits you, comment smart work, and remember, your breakthrough is not in doing more. It's in doing better.